So today we're going to dive into why many talented women might be playing small and not being seen and heard as they should. And more importantly, what can we do about it? And how can everyone, especially men, help change the game? Because I think there is a different question to be asked, because it's not about asking for more seats at the table. I think it's about questioning why the table looks the way it does in the first place. Welcome to the Brilliance Unleashed. And my name is Anna, and today we're shaking a table a bit, and I think that it's like I can do this because I was shaking moments ago. My friend shared some startling data about women in board and executive roles in the Netherlands, and the numbers, disappointingly low. And it's got me thinking, why are we as women still playing small? And yes, probably you're just like shocked. Why am I talking about the women playing small? Because I think that there is a different question to be asked, because it's not about asking for more seats at the table. I think it's about questioning why the table looks the way it does in the first place. So today we're going to dive into why many talented women might be playing small and not being seen and heard as they should. And more importantly, what can we do about it? And how can everyone, especially men, help change the game? Because I believe that every privileged person has some obligation to help the minorities. And in that scenario, in that case, men are the one who are sitting at the table and shape that table. And I think they need to start stepping into the role of the questioning ones, of looking around and saying loudly that something is off. So there's two aspects: men designing the table and women playing small. And there is a reason why we are playing small. And let me just focus on three, because of course the whole aspect and whole topic is way more complex. But for the purposes of today's podcast, let's focus on three things. So of course, social conditioning for playing small, right? Because from the young age, many of us has been conditioned to be less assertive, to promise harmony over conflict, even if it means silencing our voice. So we are the one, and our mothers were the one at the table who just shushing everyone to make sure that that there is no conflict, that there is everybody is happy, that there is no big fight. So I think that that says a lot, and that's what we've been conditioned from really young age. And it's the old playbook: be seen, not heard. And while it's 2024, hello, this dusty old script still managed to run the show in boardrooms across the countries and continents. So why we are playing small, it's a social conditioning. The second one is the fear of backlash. So, research shows that women often face backlash when displaying traditionally masculine traits like assertiveness or ambition. This double bind can make women hesitant to step up, fearing being labeled as a difficult or bossy, and terms rarely used to describe men in the similar roles. So, if we have a woman and a man behaving in the same way, well, of course, you're going to use different wording and different label to put on women than men. Yes. So of course, if we are getting raising our voice or getting a little bit more emotional, of course we are called hysterical. For men, it's just that they are being decisive, that they are voicing their opinion. Uh, if the communication style from women is straightforward, tough, and clear, then in a moment there is a bossy attitude or bossy label comes with that. And for men, of course, we're going to use a different, more empowering word to describe that behavior. So it is bossy and boss, right? So that's already showing a little bit of where that it's not even at the table. And as we, of course, in 2024, the role models, we have more and more of them, it's still not enough, right? So the third aspect of us playing small, it is not having enough role models. So it's hard to be what you can see. So with few women in the top position, there is a stark lack of role models that can inspire, show the way. This scarcity makes it harder for women to envision themselves in leadership roles. And of course, that goes for that vicious circle of underrepresentation. And and again, I'm going to go back to that table. I think that it's we as women can do something about it, and there is, of course, some role that men can play in that. And I see that responsibility on both sides. So let's start with what can be done by us women. So, owning our ambitions. So, it's time to own and voice our ambitions loudly. Playing small serves no one. And setting your sights high, plan strategically, and articulate clearly where you want to go. And vocalize it. And remembering ambition is not a dirty word. So, slowly changing that narrative and changing the wording, changing the way we speak to ourselves and to each other in a way that is more empowering and an ambition for women. It's not a dirty word. Then build resilience against bias. So while we cannot control how others react, we can build our resilience. So seeking feedback, use criticism, constant criticism or feedback in a constructive way, and don't shying away from advocating for ideas and presence in space where it matters. So it is really feeling, grabbing that chair at the table because we feel and we know that we need to be there. And I think that's something that I've seen over the years becoming a huge part of that change, of that wave. It is network and support each other. So create networks of support with other women, mentorship, sponsorship, absolutely, communities. And because the more we support each other, the stronger we stand. And together we can change the narrative and ensure our voices are not just heard, but also respected. So being in those communities, and I'm part of many female supporting roles. I'm a mentor, I'm a mentee, I'm mentored by women. I see the huge empowerment coming from those relationships. I see the need. I see the change, the wave. I see the hope coming with a new generation. So we are also, as for example, my generation, we are standing not only and changing narrative for ourselves, but also for our kids, for our daughters, for people who are gonna look for those role models. So being that role model for the next generations. And there is absolutely assignment for men. So what they can do, what you men, our partners, our fathers, brothers, can do. You can challenge the status quo. So men in leadership, it's your move. So challenge the norms in your organization. Ask why there aren't more women in decision-making roles. Change the table that you're sitting. Look around and look for diversity. Trust women and invite them to those boardrooms. So change that support for diversity and inclusion and become an active ally. So support doesn't end at the agreement, right? So act on it. Champion the ideas of female colleagues. Acknowledge their potential publicly. Advocate for their advancement. Because we as women, we need to raise our voice, but we need the ally. So act like one and acknowledge, publicly advocate for other women. And of course, educate and reflect. Reflect on your own biases and educate yourself on the barriers faced by women in the field. So have with us the genuine conversation. Do not assume, but start asking questions and listen what we say. Because understanding is the first step to change, and informed leaders can make informed decisions that foster that inclusive environment. So know your biases and change them. Start asking questions, be curious about it, and do not stay stagnant in your way of thinking. So have that growth mindset. So I just wanted to say that and share that with you. And I'm inviting you to start that conversation and sharing your comments and under that video, that podcast, because we've just scratched the surface today, right? But I hope this conversation sparks more than just thoughts. I want us to catalyze that action. So for my listeners, both women, men, any genders, ask yourself, how am I contributing to that change? And to the leaders out there, remember that the future is watching. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Thank you for tuning in and for being here with me today. And if this episode struck a chord, share it, talk about it, and don't be shy to drop your views. Subscribe for more discussions like this, and together let's build a future when no one plays small. Stay bold, stay brilliant.